Hey guys, this is Love of Love Tarot XOXO, and I'm gonna get right to it. I was really guided to do a reading on the coronavirus last week. I instinctively felt like that's what I needed to do. So I pulled a few cards, and I've only shared this with a few people, but I saw quite a few things that I'm going to share with you. And Spirit said, don't do the full reading yet. Don't release a full reading yet. And so I've waited, and I woke up this morning, and I feel like today is the day that I need to do a full reading on the coronavirus. So if you've ever gotten a personal reading from me, then you know that I always pray. Before doing a reading, I pray over my cards, and I give all deference and reverence to God, and today will be no different. So for those of you who believe in a higher power, please bow your heads. Father God, you are a God that reveals secrets. Lord, please reveal your secrets unto me. Reveal to me the secret and deep things. Let me understand things kept secret from the foundation of the world. Let the seals be broken from your word. Let me understand and have revelation of your will and purpose for my life. Give me the spirit of wisdom and revelation, and let the eyes of my understanding be enlightened. Let me understand heavenly things. Let me speak to others by revelation. Reveal your secrets to your servants, the prophets. Let your word be revealed unto me. Let me receive visions and revelations of the Lord. Let me receive an abundance of revelations, and let me receive and understand your hidden wisdom. In your name I pray. Father God, Holy Spirit, archangels, do I have permission to proceed with the messages? Thank you and amen. So first, let's talk a little bit about the coronavirus, COVID-19, as it is now called. The coronavirus has been around for, and if you can see my kitten in the background here, I apologize. She's running amok right now. But at any rate, the coronavirus has been around for many years. There's been SARS and other versions of the coronavirus, but this one, as they call it, the novel coronavirus, is COVID-19. It's a new version of the coronavirus. And so if you've had like a Lysol bottle, I think it was Lysol bottles, or like Lysol wipes, they say to get rid of the coronavirus, that was in reference to the previous coronavirus. This is the new mutation, so to speak. And if I use terms that are incorrect, please forgive me. I am a quantum physicist in some ways, I guess. That's what I believe tarot cards are in terms of reading energies, but I am not a biologist or a chemist or a scientist of that nature. So if I use terms that are incorrect, please forgive me. Just follow the message more so than anything else. But the first question is, how is it transmitted? Okay, so if someone coughs, sneezes, anything of that nature, 6 feet away from you, 6 feet, I want to really kind of put emphasis on that because I need you to understand how far 6 feet is, okay? Your respiratory system can then take in those particles, okay, in any orifice, any hole in your body, okay? So it's going to attach in the lungs, but let's say it touches your nose and somehow gets into your nasal passage, your eyes, okay? These are different ways that it can spread. Any hole that you have, any orifice, as it's called, that you have in your body, the coronavirus, it can spread in that way. Up to 6 feet away from you, if someone sneezes and you breathe in that molecule, which is possible, you are susceptible to the coronavirus, okay? If you come into contact with any fecal matter, and for the average person, this would not be relevant, obviously, But if you're someone who is a caretaker and you come into contact with fecal matter, that is a way that you could potentially become infected with the coronavirus. Now, here's the thing that is shocking to me, and I'm noticing a lot of things that, are being said in the media, that even healthcare professionals are saying, that just really don't make a whole lot of sense. We're being told, and I'm picking up my protective stones. We're being told that this is no big deal. We're being told that the flu, you have a greater chance of contracting the flu. So go and get your flu vaccine. And that's true. I am someone who does believe in vaccines, okay? But they're saying that you should be more worried about the flu. Now, let me tell you why that makes no sense, okay? The coronavirus, as we are being told today, and I do believe that we are not being told 100% of the truth. In fact, I don't think we're being told 90% of the truth, okay? But the coronavirus can live up to 9 days on a surface. 9 days on a surface. Let me compare that so I can just give you some sort of a vantage point. The flu virus can live on a surface for up to 24 hours. How many more people come into contact with the surface in 9 days than do in 24 hours? Okay? Consider that. Okay? So obviously the impact is much bigger. In addition to that, people get flu vaccines. Everyone does not get a flu vaccine. A lot of people do get flu vaccines. And so therefore, if you're one of those people who comes into contact with that surface or that person within 9 days, you are not going to transmit it to anyone else. You're not going to get it, and therefore you're not going to transmit it. We don't have a vaccine for corona. In addition to that, there's been a lot of back and forth about how long someone can transmit it if they have it and the virus is in incubation, so to speak. When the virus, that's the thing about viruses. That's why they spread so quickly, because they incubate. So some people's bodies don't react to the particular virus. Their antibodies are built up or whatever, and they don't react. The problem with that is that they can still spread it. Like if you have it, you can still spread it even if you're showing you're asymptomatic. You're showing no symptoms of having it. So I could have it, show no symptoms of having it. I'm going to school, I'm going to work, I'm going to church, I'm going to functions with friends and so on and so forth. And I'm just passing it around and I don't even have a clue that I am the moving target. They don't know how long a person can have coronavirus before showing symptoms, even for those who do show symptoms. So initially we were told 9 days, same as what it lives on the surface. That has been proven to not be true. There's a couple who, I believe, returned from Italy. Don't quote me on that, but they were out of the country, or maybe it was just one person, but at any rate, she was out of the country. She came back. They had her in isolation for 2 weeks. Went on about her business after 2 weeks. Okay, she's good. She doesn't have it. Just kidding. She started showing symptoms after like 3 weeks of having returned back to the US from, I believe it was Italy. Well, I thought it could only be an incubation for 9 days before you could show symptoms. So the point that I'm making is there are a lot of things that are not being told to us, and some of it I believe is just because of lack of knowledge. And you know what happens with the people who have lack of knowledge? What happens? The Bible says the people will perish with a lack of knowledge. I believe it's the Bible that says that. A person who has the flu, again, just to give you some sort of understanding of the difference between the impact. A person who does get infected with the flu, they did not get the vaccine, they can spread it for 1 to 4 days before they actually show symptoms. 1 to 4 days versus 9 days. 24, or actually versus 3 weeks. 1 to 4 days with the flu, 3 weeks or more with coronavirus from what we're seeing. Not what we're being told, but just what your common sense will tell you if you pay attention to what is now being released in the news in terms of the reports of what is going on with the people. Stop listening to propaganda and sensationalized media coverage. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of those people, but this is common sense. It just really is, okay? And again, 24 hours with the flu, they can live on the surface 9 days with coronavirus. Much bigger impact and no vaccine. Okay? What we don't know is whether or not this thing will get better or get worse when the temperatures rise. With the flu, as the temperatures get warmer, as there's more moisture in the air, it tends to die off a lot easier. And so that's why you have a flu season that generally occurs around October and typically ends around March. That's why, because the temperatures start to rise in April. Between April and say September, we have warmer temperatures, it dies off. We don't know whether this thing is going to get better or worse as the temperatures rise. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards here. Excuse my hands in the camera. I'm going to pull a few cards here to try to determine the impact that this is going to have on the U.S. community, more specifically, okay? All right. So the first question I'm going to ask, what is going to be the potential impact here on the U.S.? Father God, Holy Spirit, angels, could you please make every card pull for whatever virus in the U.S.? Father God, Holy Spirit, archangels, please give me messages for the collective. Give me messages for the collective, please. I have the Devil card at the bottom of my deck. Everybody reads cards differently. For me, what's on the bottom of my deck is what we don't see coming towards us. The Devil energy is toxicity. It's fear. Everything that the devil is. And something that I pulled when I initially pulled my initial pull last week, it looked like this was a terrorist attack. I know that this got out because in Wuhan, people were eating bats and everything, bats and snakes, and it had gotten into the bats and the snakes. However, I believe that this was actually put out into the environment in some way, shape, or form, purposely, as a world terror attack. That's what I got. I pulled the 7 of Swords, and those of you who read tarot, you know what that means. And there are people right now who are intentionally spreading this virus. There are people who know that they have it, and I believe there are people who, just like terrorists may do, are willing to lose their lives to go around spreading it to other people. That's what I'm seeing. The Devil card has fallen out twice. 2 different decks. Okay. Where's this card that just flipped over? I need this. Oh, here it is. So another thing that I saw last week when I pulled was that there was going to be a world leader who was going to contract it. I'm pulling out the same thing now. This particular person is a world leader that people love because I got the Ace of Cups here. But the Devil card and the Hierophant are clarifying the Ace of Cups. What does that Hierophant look like, guys? The Pope. They have just released that they believe the Pope might have it. Now, last week, when I pulled the cards that I pulled, I did not think that it was the Pope. I'll tell you later who I think that it is, who's gonna get it, okay? But I am seeing that the Pope, I'm looking at this as the Pope, because this is a loving spiritual being. I'm seeing that his body is right now fighting the virus off. I don't know I know that they were saying that they believed that he might have it, but I don't know that they've confirmed it, but I am seeing that I'm seeing he has it. Yeah, given to the poor. This reminds me of the Pope, okay? Here we go again. Here we go again. That's Seven of Swords. Those of you who've gotten personal readings from me, you know what I call this, the sneaky MFer card. This is people spreading it, traveling, purposely spreading it because they want to take, it's a terrorist attack. They want to take down countries that are right. Whoever did this wanted to take down a country or countries that are considered to be world leaders, that are considered to be wealthy and prosperous. Yep, and they're celebrating. They're celebrating the fact that they've hurt and are hurting so many people. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be affected by this. I'll be doggone. That's the same card that I just showed you. It's just from a different deck, the Ten of Swords. Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold, starving, sick, shivering. That's the virus itself. Killing people. And this is the virus traveling. I don't do somber, sad readings. Even when I see bad things happening in readings, those of you, again, who've gotten personals know, I don't deliver that information. And if I do, I deliver it in a way that is to help and not to hinder, because what is the point of having bad news if you cannot do anything with it? And I'm going to deliver this message the same way as well. But I do see a lot of people dying. I see this traveling. I see it traveling to different states. It's going to start to move quicker and quicker. Obviously, we know there have now been 6 deaths in the state of Washington. This thing is going to start moving quicker and quicker. It's going to pick up speed in the US. And there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be affected from a financial perspective, obviously from a health perspective as well. But this is going to affect a lot of people from a health perspective. I'm sorry, from a financial perspective. Father God, Holy Spirit, Archangels, could you please clarify who is in the card for me? Please clarify this info card for me. This is a country that put this, a world. I'm sorry, I'm hearing the messages and they're coming like quick. They start coming quickly. I'm getting that a world leader intentionally put this coronavirus out. That was the terrorist attack. It was a world leader. This is a person. So what countries haven't been affected? That's the question to ask. What countries, because I have the answer, I'm just not going to say it. I'm not going to say it on camera. I'm no fool. But there is a country that has not been affected, that given its proximity to the epicenter of this virus, they should have been affected, and they have not been affected. And that's what I'm getting, that this person put this out. Somebody is holding on. This is back to its world leader. Somebody has information that they are holding on to. They are consulting, like they're getting the information from another source, and they're holding on to that information. Hermit. They're holding on to that information. It's being communicated to them, and they're holding it tight to their chest. This is the world leader. I think this is Donald Trump. He's holding it. He's not telling. And this is something's going to change very quickly here in regards to the information that we're being given. I feel like there's going to be a huge, all of a sudden, what? That's not what you guys were telling us. You were telling us everything was all good. You guys were telling us we didn't have anything to worry about. I feel like all of a sudden, they're going to be like, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. And it's going to totally change what they have been saying. I want to take a look. Last week, I had a bit of an inclination that the Donald was going to get it. And because I saw this world leader was going to get it. I want to take a look and see if that's who it is that I was seeing. I could be wrong. That was based on instinct. But let's just take a look here. Guys, be prepared for this. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe what we're being told right now. Seriously. Use your common sense. You know, we prepare for the storm, right? If you know a storm is brewing, if you can look outside before there were news, you know, and social media and all these different ways of finding out information, if you looked outside and you saw that a storm was brewing, what would you do? Do you just sit on the porch and wait for the storm to come, or do you cover up your shutters? You know, do you make sure that everyone's in the basement? Did you go to the store and get your bread and your food and your water? You know, you prepare for the storm. Because the storm is always, here's the thing, a storm is always going to come. And it's not going to be in our timing, right? But you just have to make sure that you are prepared for the storm. That's interesting. It's so interesting what comes out in these cards. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing here. And it's a pretty clear message. One of two things are going to happen. Either I think he's going to get it. And if he gets it, they're going to keep it a secret. They're going to keep it a secret. They're going to put him in hiding, so to speak. Like we just won't see or hear from him. And we won't know why. I think they're going to put, or they're either doing this because I see him moving. I see him moving and we don't know where he is. It's a secret. Okay. And I told you this is a terrorist attack. So I see either he gets it and they're not telling us that he has it, or possibly that they're going to put him like in some sort of a bunker or something. As this thing starts to spread, they're going to protect him. They're going to protect him and have him in hiding so that he doesn't get it. Or it could be both. He could get in there and protect him and hide him. But I see him moving away. We don't know where he is, like he's hiding. 6. And here's a Queen of Cups. I don't know Melania's sign. There's a water sign woman that's here with him. Yeah, he's in like a jail. And he's worried about this. Like, again, they're not telling us that he knows. So when he did this whole announcement, oh, everything's good, it's fine, blah, 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 blah. No. He knows. He knows the potential impact of this. And he's worried. But I definitely see him traveling. I see him going somewhere and like, they're going to protect him. He's going to be protected. We're going to be out here. Oh. Donald Trump may get it. And it may not end well for him. I'm just being honest with what I see. If this is not him, this is someone close to him that could potentially get it. And I'm not even going to tell you what that card is because it would sound not nice. And this is Gemini energy, the Lover's card. So there he is, popping up. Let me just say this. It doesn't matter what your opinion of him is. Doesn't matter what my opinion of him is. At the end of the day, God has the final say. And whatever seed you sow, that's the harvest that you are going to have the opportunity to partake in. Okay? And that's definitely what I am seeing. I am seeing that he's going to have an opportunity to partake in his own harvest, what he sowed. I see that he is going to either go into hiding because of fear of getting this. He could go into hiding because of fear of getting this without telling anyone. Or he or someone close to him could get it, and unfortunately, it doesn't end with happily ever after. And I'm going to leave it at that for that question. Because that's a clear message. Very clear message. The next question that I have here is, will we have to stay indoors or anything like that? Let's see if they will guide me on whether or not we'll have to stay indoors or whatever else. This is where it, okay. I don't want this to be too long. And I think we are going to have to stay indoors because I just got the 10 of Cups. Happy home. My question is, are we going to have to stay indoors? Oh, God, Holy Spirit, could you please give me the Cups, Lord? We're going to have to stay indoors. I think we are going to have to stay indoors. I'm going to obviously see what the cards say, but I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of communication online and a lot of communication, you know, obviously over the phone and things like that. I have this 8 of Wands. So that tells me there's going to be a lot of communication coming in from a distance, not a whole lot of human interaction, physical. Yep, and back to that 7 of Swords, that sneaky energy. Yes, they are aware of what's going on right now, and they are planning. They are planning for this. They're planning for how bad this is going to get. Right now, they are in their heads trying to figure out how to contain the situation, and I do potentially think that we may have to stay inside. Yep. I think that's going to be the best way that they're going to try to contain this. For them to fight it, to clear it out, attempt to. Because it's going to start moving so quickly. Yeah, and I think there's a fire sign woman here. I'm not really big into politics, to be quite honest. Like, to know who everyone is and know all their signs. No, I don't know that. But it looks like there's a fire sign woman here who helps to shut this thing down. She kind of saves the day. She slows the spreading of this down. But I do believe that we're going to have to spend a period of time with our friends and family, well, with our family members, probably indoors. Yeah, I feel like they're actively, right now, really, I mean, they're working hard to try to contain this thing. And I think there's a fire sign woman that has a lot to do with this. She's going to be kind of the one who figures this whole thing out and figures out how to eradicate it. They didn't exactly answer my question about having to stay at home. But I do think that that's likely what's going to happen. And I feel like maybe that's what's going to really stop the spreading of this. Okay. Whew. All right. And what I really just kind of want to know is, you know, at what point is this going to get kind of bad? Like, when should we expect? Because I feel like travel is going to come to a halt, and I just think they're going to really just be like, oh, no. Stop. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. So I'm going to do a pull here to see if I can figure out, like, when is this thing going to get really, when can we expect for this to kind of get out of control? Because we do know, at least according to this reading, things are going to kind of get out of control. And so when? What month are we in? March. I'm saying May. I'm seeing May. I'm seeing like in 8 weeks. 5 and an 8 in the devil card. So I know that they're answering my question. Within 8 weeks, which will be the month of May, I believe that this is, we're gonna be, wow. To clarify, the devil and the death card came out. And the 5 of swords is here too, so that's another 5. And again, that's kind of like fighting. So I say by May. I say by May. So what I would suggest that everyone, do, and this was the purpose of me making this video. I started to do tarot because I wanted to help. That's why I decided to make it public, so to speak. I'm not really public. I'm not showing my face, but to go public somewhat about clearing the energy stuff, about reading tarot was because I wanted to help people. And I've had a lot of clients who've come back and cried and told me how much that I have helped them. And that makes me cry. And it makes me very happy because I'd like to share my gift for that very purpose, to be able to help people and to be able to resolve some issues and things like that. So with that being said, the reason why I did this video was so that you can believe it or you don't have to. Some of the things I'm sure will happen, but I want people to be prepared because I don't feel like we're being given the truth at all right now, for the sake of they do not want people to start acting crazy. It's like there's nothing that you can really do outside of what they're telling us to do, is just wash your hands, clean surfaces, and things like that. The thing about it is, because of what we just talked about, how long it lives on surfaces, how far it can spread, how quickly it can spread because of lack of a vaccine, and because also of how long it can stay in your system without you knowing, without you having any knowledge of it, and you spreading it. They just don't want pandemonium. But I believe that people need to know the severity of this, instead of healthcare professionals and leaders, political leaders, kind of just brushing it off to the side. And then what ends up happening is people aren't prepared. So this is my suggestion to you guys. Start taking your echinacea. Start taking your vitamin C. Start taking your elderberry. Start taking your regular daily vitamins. Make sure that your children are doing the same thing. Explain to your children the importance of washing their hands. Explain to your children the importance of not putting their hands on their face, coughing into their elbow and things like that. But make them aware, like, this is very serious. Sometimes when people don't understand the severity of things, they don't react to it, We want to be in a defensive position. We don't want things to get crazy and now you got to play offense. Be in a defensive position. Also, go get your non-perishable items from the store. Go get them now. I have a girlfriend who lives in Washington where they've had the deaths so far, and she tried to go to the store on Saturday, and she said there was like nothing but Eggo waffles. So go get your ramen noodles, whatever. Go get plenty of water, canned goods, frozen foods, your cereal, bleach. If you have pets, go get food for them. Be prepared. Be prepared to stay in your home for up to 2 months. I don't know that you will have to stay in our homes for 2 months, but be prepared to do that. Because I'm not saying we won't be able to leave out of the house. I do believe we'll be able to leave out of our homes. But what will be open? Think about Christmas Day when there's nothing open, right? The only way that they're going to be able to stop this thing from spreading, well, one of the ways, is to shut everything down so it's not moving. If they can stop it from moving, if they can stop it from getting on surfaces, it can't continue to spread, right? If everybody is in incubation, it cannot continue to spread. So be prepared for that. Get your Netflix, Hulu, a good book, you know. All jokes aside though, everyone, just be prepared. And that's the bottom line. There's nothing to be afraid of per se. Just be prepared. That's the best advice that I can give, okay? Thank you for coming to my channel to watch the video. I hope I was able to help. Please click the subscribe button that's right below the video. Click it right now so you do not forget. Hit subscribe. Boop. Also click the thumbs up on the video. Share this video with family and friends so you can share the information and share the knowledge. And also go over to Instagram and follow me on Instagram at LoveTarotXoXo. LoveTarotXoXo. I am available for personal readings. If you're interested, the information is in the description box, or you can email me at LoveTarotXoXo. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Godspeed. I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.